The bell above the diner door gave a tired jingle as the morning crowd sat frozen in silence. No one was eating. Coffee cups had gone cold. Every person inside knew why. A child had been missing for 2 days, and the town felt like it was holding its breath. Officer Ryan Carter sat alone in a booth near the window, his uniform wrinkled, eyes hollow, hands shaking as he stared at nothing. His 8-year-old son had vanished without a trace, and every hour that passed felt like another failure carved into his chest. Search teams had combed the woods. Drones had scanned fields. Dogs had lost the trail. Hope was thinning fast. In the far corner of the diner, a little girl stood up from her seat. She couldn't have been more than 10. Her red sweater hung loosely on her thin shoulders, and beside her sat a large black and tan German shepherd. The dog was silent, alert, eyes fixed on the officer with unsettling focus. The girl hesitated, fingers tightening in the thick fur at the dog's neck, then took a step forward. People turned. Chairs creaked. Someone whispered her name, warning her to sit down. She didn't. Her shoes tapped softly against the floor as she stopped at the edge of Officer Carter's booth. He looked up, surprised, expecting pity or condolences. Instead, he saw a child staring at him with steady determination. "Sir," she said quietly, her voice trembling but clear, "my police dog can find your son." The diner went completely still. Forks paused midair. Conversations died instantly. Carter blinked, unsure he'd heard correctly. "You're, what?" he asked gently, exhaustion weighing down every syllable. "My police dog," she repeated, resting her hand on the dog's head. "His name is Rex. He knows how to find people." A few heads shook. Someone sighed. Another whispered that it was cruel to give false hope. Carter forced a tired smile, one practiced from 2 days of hearing promises that led nowhere. "That's kind of you," he said softly, "but we've already tried everything." The dog moved then. Rex stepped forward, standing tall beside the girl. His ears snapped upright. His gaze locked onto Carter with an intensity that made the officer's breath catch. This wasn't curiosity. It was recognition. The girl swallowed hard. "He hasn't stopped pulling toward you since we came in," she said. "That means he knows." Carter felt something shift inside him. A small crack in the wall he'd built around his heart. He looked at the dog again. The stance. The stillness. The discipline. Rex wasn't behaving like a pet. For the first time in 48 hours, hope whispered his name. Officer Carter rubbed his face slowly, fighting the war between logic and desperation. "What's your name?" he asked, voice rough. "Mia," the girl replied. "And this is Rex." The name fit the dog's commanding presence. Rex stood perfectly still, chest broad, muscles coiled beneath his coat, eyes never leaving the officer. Carter had worked with K9 units before. He recognized that posture. It unsettled him. "I found him 3 weeks ago," Mia continued, sensing Carter's attention. "Near the old railroad tracks. He was hurt. His leg was bleeding and he had this heavy vest on like the ones police dogs wear." People leaned closer, drawn in despite themselves. "The vest was torn," she said. "Like he'd been through something bad. I cleaned him up and took him home. After that, strange things kept happening." Carter leaned forward despite himself. "Strange how?" "He could find things," Mia said. "Lost things. Dangerous things. He'd sit by my window before storms, bark before strangers came near, and last night," she hesitated, then met his eyes. "Last night he wouldn't stop pacing. Pulling toward town. Toward you." Rex shifted, tail stiff, as if confirming every word. Carter exhaled slowly. "Mia," he said carefully, "my department has trained dogs, helicopters, everything. If I follow you and this doesn't help." "What if it does?" she asked softly. The question landed hard. Carter looked down at his hands, still dusted with dirt from the search. Then he reached into his pocket and pulled out a small cloth wristband. His son's. Faded blue. Fraying at the edges. "This is all I have that smells like him," he said. Mia nodded and knelt. Rex lowered his head, nostrils flaring. The moment the scent reached him, the dog changed. His body tightened. His breathing deepened. His ears twitched as if locking onto an invisible signal. Rex stepped back once, then turned sharply toward the door and barked. "Short. Sure. Certain." "That's it," Mia whispered. "He's got the trail." Carter's heart slammed against his ribs. He stood so fast his chair scraped loudly across the floor. "Open the door," he said. Rex didn't wait. He surged outside, paws striking pavement with purpose. Carter ran after him, Mia close behind. The dog moved like an arrow, cutting across the parking lot, nose low, then lifting into the air. He's tracking, Mia called out. A strong scent. Rex stopped suddenly near the curb, sniffed, then lunged forward again, pulling them down the street. Carter felt it then. This wasn't a gamble anymore. This was a chase. Rex led them through back streets and empty lots, never slowing, never second-guessing. Carter's lungs burned as he followed, adrenaline pushing his exhaustion aside. Mia struggled to keep pace, gripping the dog's harness with white-knuckled determination. The trail pulled them into the abandoned industrial zone at the edge of town. Rusted fences. Cracked concrete. Silence that felt wrong. Rex slowed, nose pressed to the ground, then veered sharply toward a loading yard. He stopped. Rex pawed at the dirt, scraping until something surfaced. Carter dropped to his knees. A small sneaker. His son's. Carter's hands shook violently as he lifted it. This is his, he whispered. Rex didn't celebrate. He didn't bark. He moved again, urgency renewed. They found more signs. A torn shirt. Fresh footprints. Mia swallowed hard. The trail is still warm, she said. That means your son was here recently. Hope and terror collided inside Carter's chest. As they pushed deeper, Rex's behavior changed. His posture lowered. His growl vibrated low and steady. Not fear. Warning. He smells another person, Mia said quietly. An adult. Carter's blood ran cold. The trail dragged them into the forest, light fading beneath thick branches. Rex moved with predator precision now, listening, testing the air. Then he stopped at a collapsed shed and growled sharply. From the shadows, a man burst forward, trying to run. Rex launched. The impact sent the man crashing to the ground. Rex pinned him expertly, teeth bared inches from flesh. Carter reached them seconds later, weapon drawn. Where is my son? Carter demanded. I didn't hurt him, the man cried. Someone else took him. They went underground. The tunnels. Rex lifted his head, ears snapping forward. They ran again. At the base of a rocky ridge, Rex shoved through a narrow opening. Carter's flashlight revealed small footprints leading into darkness. Drag marks. They carried him, Carter whispered, voice breaking. Inside the tunnel, cold stone closed in around them. Water dripped. Somewhere ahead, a faint sound echoed. A sob. Carter froze. My son, he breathed. Rex surged forward, racing the sound, guiding them through twists and splits until the tunnel opened into a chamber lit by a dying lantern. A small figure sat curled against the wall. Dad, the boy cried. Carter dropped to his knees, pulling his son into his arms as Rex stood guard between them and the shadows. The nightmare was over. Because one dog never stopped believing. Dawn filtered through the trees as paramedics wrapped the boy in blankets. He clung to his father, refusing to let go. Carter held him tighter than he ever had, breathing in the warmth, the life, the miracle he thought he'd lost forever. Rex sat close, eyes sweeping the area, vigilant even now. One of the officers approached with a scanner. Sir, he said, voice unsure, we found something. He passed Carter the device. A microchip registration glowed on the screen. K9 Rex, Law Enforcement Unit. Status, missing in action. Carter stared stunned. He's a real police dog. Mia nodded softly. I thought so. The officer continued. Military trained. Presumed lost during a transport incident months ago. Carter knelt in front of Rex, placing both hands on the dog's broad head. You never stopped working, he whispered. You never stopped protecting. Rex leaned into the touch, eyes closing briefly. Mia watched quietly, tears slipping down her cheeks. He chose us, she said. He always does. Carter stood and faced her. Mia, he said, voice thick, you and Rex saved my son. You saved my family. She sniffed. He did. Then let us return the favor, Carter said gently. Both of you. Stay with us. Mia's eyes widened. Rex barked once, tail lifting. As the sun rose higher, warmth replacing the night's fear, the town's quiet hero finally rested. Not as a weapon. Not as a tool. But as family. Because sometimes belief finds us before proof. And sometimes a little girl and her police dog change everything.